Hello and welcome to Soundtrap, otherwise known as Let the Beat Drop. My name is Ben Kelly. I am a lot of things in the district, but when it comes to this session, I am a Soundtrap ambassador. I was lucky enough to discover, I had no Apple products. I had maybe one or two iPads, and I was so jealous of the people that got to play with GarageBand, but my kids didn't in my school. So I said, there's got to be a solution out there. There's got to be something. So I discovered online this Soundtrap, and I decided to get my own little account and play with it, much like you're going to do today. And I went, oh my goodness. So you start playing around with it, and then you notice that this company is not a joke. They are not just some little bubble. When I started with them, there would have been a few thousand users, and just in February, they passed their 1 million user mark. So this company is just going skyrocketing. They are called Soundtrap. They are a Swedish startup. So what this is, to sum it up, is this is a solution for anything audio in any school, anywhere, that doesn't require a Mac or a specific hardware device. It's every device. I'll show you a little bit about Soundtrap, some of the cool projects I did this year with it, and then the rest of the time is you. You're going to be in, it's going to be loud, your iMacs are going to be cranking out beats and sounds, and it could be a little confusing, but...
I just want to know right off the start, is it by beat and by bar, or is it by
it's a switchable, like garage.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm staying.
Yeah, this is pretty wild. So for the hardcore music teachers in the room, there's some features here you're going to be like, oh my goodness. And then for the people like me who have a little bit of piano in their background or something, and you just like the ditty sometimes, it's wow. It's really wow. I have some top reasons you might want to get Soundtrap. This is very quick. I want to talk to you about why you want Soundtrap, and then we're going to play. We're going to play for sure. I think there was an asterisk on this session that any major hits that come out of here, we split the royalties. I'm pretty sure there was that, so just make sure that if anyone produces the next hit, just remember us, okay? So I want to show you a few basic things like why you'd want it, then we'll get right into it and we'll start making music, and then of course you'll have a 3-month trial to play all you want. So this is ideal. Remember, Bring Your Own Device has a whole mix of stuff that comes to school. Microsoft products, Google products, Apple products, it's whatever the kids have. So Soundtrap has an app for everything. You can work on your phone. I've seen kids actually start their project on a computer, but then the vocals are hard to do when you're on a computer, right? Because unless your lab or your computer has a mic, how do you do your vocals for the rap? So the kids would make a rap beat, and then I'd see them go off to a room down the hall, pull out their iPhone, set up the vocal track, hit record, rap their vocals into their phone, hit save, and come right back to the Mac or right back to the computer where their vocals are now in. So because it's cloud-based, you can go home. You can go home to your sister who plays violin, she can throw down a track, and it's right there in the cloud. You go back to school, there's your violin track with your music. It's just incredible, right? So if you look at GarageBand, it's hard to carry an iMac around. The iPad version of GarageBand is pretty sweet, though. That actually works well. But this allows you to use any device, anyone's device, and you're going to see there's actual global reaches here that you can actually work with schools in other parts of the world real time. It's pretty cool. Okay, and so learning beyond the classroom, that's going home. That's kids can actually go home to their parents' 8-year-old PC, boot up Google Chrome, and continue their project. So we're talking the lowest income families. We're talking everyone. Everyone with an internet connection, Chrome, and a computer, you're set. And if not, a tablet or an iPod Touch or something. Okay, so it's cloud-based. Let's look at the, so there's no pesky, your technicians that come into your schools and we don't give them enough respect ever. We really don't. They're sad souls usually, but if you hug a technician sometime and tell them keep up the good work, it's all they need for the year. They do not like installing and updating software and Java and all that nonsense. So the fact that this runs in the cloud and only needs Chrome, that's heaven to them. They're like, thanks, you don't need me, I'm good. Soundtrap updates itself. It's not like Chrome gets affected. It's pretty sweet. No local storage. Nothing's being stored on your machine, so they don't fill up. You don't have like 57 songs on a machine, and all of a sudden there's no more storage left in the student's drive. Everything's cloud-based and it's unlimited. It's ready to work whenever you are. So you log into Soundtrap any hour of the day, any time, and it's ready. It's waiting for you. The app is always there. You just go boom, and it's ready to run. And finally, access student work from everywhere. You're a teacher. You don't want to sit at the school with GarageBand and mark assignments on the school iPads. They can actually link you into every project as a co-author, and then you have access at home. So I can sit at home and listen to their songs, give feedback. It's incredible what I can do as a teacher to any sort of music production. Remember, it's not just music. The podcast angle here is really interesting, so you don't have to be a music teacher to do a history podcast. Global collaboration. So this is what I'm going to tell you on this. In Soundtrap, there is a collaboration circle. It's a little blue circle, I think, up in the top corner. And what you do is you click on it, and then you search for friends. So my name, I made it easier to find. Instead of just putting Ben for my students, I put B3N, and they know that. So it's easier to find. I come up to the top of the search. So they can invite me. Once they invite me to a project, I go yes, then I can text them. I can actually, it's like an iMessage chat on the side, and you can say, wow, you know, at the eighth beat mark or after your first bar, you might want to consider building to the drop or something. You give them back feedback and they go, oh, thanks, I never thought of that. So you can actually chat with them. Even better, you can strike up a video call. So it's weird, and I wouldn't do this, but if I was at home on the weekend and the student actually reached out to me from their home on Soundtrap through a video chat, we could actually be in separate places and working on the same project together through video. And it's, if you're security in the room or anything like that, I apparently believe that COPA compliance and FERPA compliance are like the standard for the industry. So if you're looking for that security check mark as an IT or someone that oversees a district or something like that, they are bam, bam. And the walled garden, just imagine you have the ability to close off your group. So it's just you, it's just your crew, your school, your crew, or take down that walled garden and open it up to the world, which is the one I favor a lot. So here's two examples. The girls that you see there at the top, they are grades 7 and 8, 7 on the right and 8. That's them doing a live, real-time podcast with two boys in Wales. So this is Wales, right here, two boys in an all-boys school in Wales. And these are girls sitting in my classroom at lunchtime, and they're actually recording a podcast live into the Soundtrap channels. So there's your global connection, there's your global reach. You can reach out to any country in the world, and as long as they have a Soundtrap account, you can search for them, connect with them, video chat, go. The project at the bottom is Sounds of the Globe. This is pretty cool. Kids headed out into their environment and recorded sounds. So they scuffed their feet on the gravel. They hit chain fences. They heard dogs barking. Even weird things like a dump truck. In South Korea, a dump truck, they'd be like, what is that? But then we're hearing sounds back. So this project was us, New Brunswick, with South Korea, New York City, and Australia. The kids all headed out into their environments, recorded little sound clips of about 10 seconds, put them all into the cloud, and then our students' job was to pull in those sound clips and make music from them. Time-wise, it really didn't work too well. We didn't really get our songs fully up into the final piece, but that's what year one's all about, right? You do the best you can do, and then you move on, and hopefully year 2 we actually get our songs up there. Soundtrap is designed for K-12, so think about this. This is every grade. You can't think of a grade that couldn't use this. It's really easy to use. You click a button and speak, or you drag and drop. So even kindergarten kids can, especially on the tablets, maybe not so the PCs, but on a tablet, they can easily drag a clip out, record themselves talking, anything like that. And even professionals can do this because it has the capability for you to plug in your devices, guitars, MIDI, anything like that, into the iPad or into the Macs or into the PCs, and record professionally into this with all sorts of effects. That's what I did. That's my first project. Started with grade 12. Why not? They're the most elite in our school. Why not test Soundtrap with them? They made an album called Straight Out of Albert, which is our county, Albert County. Each pair of students was responsible for a tune on the album, and in the end we had 12 tunes, including mine, and we had an album. So they put it online, and the neat thing about SoundCloud, which is often confused with Soundtrap, is it'll tell you how many times your track's been listened to. Real feedback. So if you're looking for that immediate feedback, put your class album into SoundCloud, check it in 2 weeks, and all of a sudden one of your kids has 242 listens, and they're like, yes, I knew we had a good song. So I did it with every class. You can imagine I found great success with the first one, turned around, I had some grade 8s, I found some grade 7s, finally the Fridays, that was their tech day, so we did a grade 6 album, and this last one, our kids, we have a drama program at our school. It's not the best, it's not Moncton High or one of these major productions, right? But it's certainly, they want to do a good show. So they wanted to do Neil Patrick Harris's Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog or whatever, but they didn't want to do it live. They realized that would be a weird one to do live and the actors weren't in place, so they made a video. The whole thing, they videotaped the full drama production. But the beauty of Soundtrap with auto-tune, thank God, the beauty of Soundtrap with auto-tune built in is they could go and film, or they did all the songs up front. So this started out with them singing, the main songs, and they could edit and they could auto-tune and everything like that. Then all they had to do is go out in the hallway, hit play, and while the person's walking down the hallway singing the tune, they're listening to the tune, so therefore they're mouthing along. It's lip dubbing, right? So they're lip dubbing to the actual tune, and then you simply drop your Soundtrap clip on top of the video, line it right, and you've got a full-blown auto-tuned drama production. Digital classrooms. So if you're really into this stuff, if you're into the fact that you want to make an assignment for your class and then push it out to everybody, just know that Google Classroom, Schoology, and there's a whole bunch of others. You can see Office 365 sitting there. It's all integrated. So you can actually make an assignment for the kids in Soundtrap, push it out to the kids, all the kids respond to your assignment, and then you can upload it. And I guess the best thing here is oral testing. It's on almost every PLP I've ever read in my life. That's the personal learning plans for the kids with, I guess plans. Every time you see it, it's like oral testing when possible, please. But then as a teacher, you go, geez, how am I going to do that? Like, where do I have the time to go and sit with this kid for 20 minutes while all the others are actually, you're trying to control the room. So this is a neat way where you can just simply send that kid your pre-arranged recorded questions, and the kid, all they have to do is hit channel 2, hit record, and they're answering your questions orally. And they save it, they've tagged you in on it, so at home, not in class, not in school time, at home you can sit back and just go play, and it plays back for you just like a podcast would. And you can sit there and mark it, you can actually record feedback, send it back to the kid, share it with the kid again. Oral testing all of a sudden becomes relatively easy to do instead of a nightmare for teachers to try to meet on their plans. This calculator that's on their education site, that's a first step. That's a first contact. That's sort of like an interest point, like, hey, it might be around here. What I really suggest you do if you're interested in this as someone in the school district or a teacher or whatever, reach out to the company, actually reach out to them personally. They're still small enough where they actually have personal people who will write you back right away, and they're friendly, and it's crazy friendly. And they can talk to you about a specific pricing. What do you need it for? How can you help? Where you could possibly get support. I really do recommend you write every single company and say, hey, listen, what can you do for us specifically instead of just a generic? And again, more you sign up, if you sign up a whole school, price drops dramatically, right? Like everything, whole school pricing is awesome. So the biggest rule in music production, 16 beats, right? 2, 3, or 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's the number, if every radio hit in the world, if you listen to it, 16 beats. So you're just counting in your head. Here we go. So I brought in another little subtle drum under that. And here, this might be it. There's my new drum. So if you want a super hit by the time you leave today, all you need to know is that every 16 beats you bring in something new, or you take something out. Listen to this 1-minute clip that has 6,200 plays and ridiculous amounts of comments, and people are still writing me a year and a half, 2 years later going, this is awesome. And all I did was take a few Soundtrap loops and stick them together. So I wanted the alien feel. One of my staff members told me that he saw aliens as a kid over Hopewell Rocks, and that was at a party, and I haven't been able to shake that from my head. I also haven't been able to look at them the same way since, but that was one of those conversations you have at a staff party and you go, okay, all right. So then I went home and wrote a song, Alien over Hopewell Rocks. So again, all loops. So again, keep that 16 beats in your head, right? So here it comes. That was 8. There's 12. That's what you guys are going to do today. You're going to need to make your own little songs. And okay, anyway, that's Alien over Hopewell Rocks.